What's up, guys? So, little impromptu live here this morning. We'll give it just a second for people to hop on. Go back, pop up back over to Facebook and see. Well, cool. Well, since it's impromptu, I'll just get started here because there might not be too many people that are on the live. But as you can see in the title, I'm going to go over, I would call it a framework on how to make nutrition very, very easy and simple and very, very straightforward. Okay. And oftentimes we feel like to get in great shape, we have to eat the same foods and meals over and over and over again. You've probably followed different diets that are set up like that, or very strict meal plans. And what happens is you get really, really bored and you say, screw this, right? And on the flip side, having freedom and be able to eat whatever you want is great as well. But the problem is sometimes with too much freedom, people tend to make bad decisions when they have too many options. It's this paradox of choice, right? So what I'm going to share here is how you can combine the best of both worlds, because both have merit. You want some freedom and flexibility in your food decisions so you don't go bonkers and want to bang your head against a wall. But at the same time, when you look at people who are in really good shape, they tend to be creatures of habit, right? They eat similar things pretty consistently over and over again. Okay, so this is how I'm going to share where you can have the best of both worlds and make nutrition very, very, very simple for you. All right, so let's just assume someone has a goal based on where they're at, age, height, weight, sex, whatever. They're trying to have 2,000 calories a day and then 150 grams of protein. Sorry about my handwriting there, kind of ran out of room. Let me move my head so you can see this. Okay, yeah, that doesn't look like protein at all. Okay, so someone's goal is based on they have to be in a caloric deficit. They're having 2,000 calories a day and 150 grams of protein. And if you're sitting there and saying, well, Bo, I'm a woman and 2,000 calories a lot, I'm here to promise you we have a lot of female clients that are eating 2,000 plus calories. It's nice, okay? And they love it. So the goal, remember, just a side note, the goal is not to starve yourself to get results. The goal is to push as much food as possible while still losing weight. Let me say that again. The goal is not to starve yourself to lose weight. The goal is to push and eat as much possible while still losing weight. Okay, remember that, write it down. All right, so let's say, again, someone's goal is 2,000 calories a day and they're trying to get 150 grams of protein in, okay? So what I would ask this person, or what's something that you can think about, is what sort of foods, what sort of meals, what sort of things could you have and never get sick of, or really never get bored of? What are some of your favorite meals and favorite food items to have? Okay, start there. And this is obviously a hypothetical situation, right? So let's just assume that this person really loves eggs and toast for breakfast. Okay, so every morning, breakfast, let me put this over here a little bit so it's a little bit easier to write. So let's say for breakfast, they have, 4 eggs, toast. So 4 times 6, 240. So let's just call this about, we'll say it's 400 calories. Okay, 4 times 8. And let's say 30 grams of protein. All right, so they really enjoy eggs and toast, and they want to have that pretty much every morning for breakfast. Cool. All right, so let's say for lunch, they don't like to feel bloated. They don't like to have, things with a lot of carbs. It kind of slows them down. And if in the past, if they do, they kind of hit a wall at 2 or 3 o'clock. So let's say that this individual really likes a big ass salad. Like they want a big chicken salad, chicken Caesar, whatever the case may be. So let's say for lunch every day, they prefer to have a big salad. Okay, so they have a salad. And let's say they, I don't know, like 6-8 ounces of chicken. So 8 times 8. So let's say the salad is like 8 times 8, 4. It's probably a little aggressive. Let's just say they have salad with chicken. And it is, again, another 400 calories. And let's say they get about 50 grams of protein in with the chicken. All right. And then let's say as a snack at 2, 3, 4 o'clock to kind of bridge that gap from lunch to dinner, this person gets a little bit hungry, has a little bit of a craving. Now here they could maybe, again, what we talk about with clients or when I'm talking to somebody, in that as far as a snack, you want to have something protein based. It could be a protein bar. It could be a shake. So let's say this person has a shake, okay, a protein shake at like 2, 3, 4 o'clock because they're not eating dinner until 6 or 7 with their family. So they have a protein shake. Let's call that 200 calories and say 30 grams of protein. So I'm just thinking I like to get the not pure protein. It doesn't matter, but the protein that you can buy at the store is about 200 calories and about 30 grams of protein. And why am I just drawing a blank on that name? That's driving me nuts. But anyways, so let's say that so this right here is consistency. This is breakfast, lunch, and a snack is what they have. And they're cool having that multiple days throughout the week, whether that be Monday through Friday, or this could be, 7 days a week. It's really up to them. So what's cool here is they have the consistency part, right? Like creatures of habit, they're eating the same things over and over and over again. All right, cool. So this is what makes it sweet though. So add this up. So they have 400, 400, 200 minus, so that's 1,000 calories minus that. So when they go into dinner, you have 1,000 calories, okay? And 80, 110, and they have 40 grams of protein. Freedom. So this is what happens. And you have this consistency. Now you have the freedom part for dinner. When I talk to most people, what I've seen in the real world is most people like to mix up dinners. Like having the same dinner every single night gets pretty monotonous and very, very boring. Okay. So here's the cool part about this is if you have the breakfast, lunch, and snack, and you're very consistent with that, and you don't mind having those, kind of 3 meals every single day. Well, now you're coming into dinner and you have, in this example, 1,000 calories to play with. And then you have 40 grams of protein that you need to hit, and boom, you have a perfect day nutrition wise. Right. So this helps solve a couple problems. Number one is, like I said, there's something to be said about freedom of choice and not getting bored. And there also is something to be said about consistency. This combines both of those. So that's number one. Two, this is less daunting and you feel less overwhelmed. Why? Because sometimes you start a day, if you started a day and you're like, okay, I have 2,000 calories is my goal and I got 150 grams of protein that I need to get in. How in the world do I do that? Right? It can seem like a lot. But if you're having that same breakfast, lunch, and snack every day, and you're going to have that, well, you're starting like halfway or even 60, 70% to your goal already because it's already accounted for. So, when you start a day, you have nothing else to worry about besides dinner where you need 1,000 calories and 40 grams of protein, right? It seems less daunting and it feels like, you've already almost crossed the finish line when it comes to dinner. So I walk through this a lot with our clients, and this has been probably the number one thing that has helped me for years to stay lean and stay in good shape, because I will pretty much have the same meals up until dinner, and then I can eat whatever I want, and the only thing that I do different and why I can eat bigger dinners, well, there's a few reasons, but it's because I don't typically eat breakfast. So I'll bank stuff for later. Instead of 1,000, it might be 1,500 or 2,000 calories for me, and life gets real fun real quick. So hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, drop it in the comments. Yeah, we'll see you on the next one. We'll see you guys. Peace. Take care.